All right, this is Police Commission Chair Robert Depper. It is now 6 o'clock. I'm going to call us to order and do a roll call and determination of quorum. Commissioners, if y'all could indicate your presence by a here or an aye, that would be great. Commissioner Karen Paul.
Here. Sorry, here.
Commissioner Kayla Finneran.
Here.
Commissioner Julia Genorio.
Here.
Commissioner Romeo Herman. Okay, and it doesn't look like we have anybody else online, so I believe we have a quorum, as that is 5 of us. The first question is the addition or modification, additions or modifications to the agenda. Are there any? Hearing none, we'll move forward to 2.1, motion to adopt the previous meeting's minutes. I will so move. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, the minutes pass and will become the official minutes of the last meeting. Now we have public comment period, and the public is invited to address the commission. We have one online. I'm sorry? I do not, sir. Sure. Well, now it is time for public comment, sir. Are you here to make a public comment or just watch the proceedings? Okay.
Is the agenda something we can put up on the screen? If
Will it interrupt the stream?
There you go.
Thank you.
Sure. I don't believe so.
There is a special meeting. It's a hearing of the Animal Control Subcommittee.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yep, so after commission business, we have commendations, then we announce our next meeting date, and then we have a proposed executive session. That's pretty much all that's on the agenda after that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, very good. All right, is there any other public comments, either here or online?
No, but I have a comment to make.
Yes, Commissioner Paul.
This sort of got a little bit ahead of me. On the proposed executive session, I wanted to see if we could just add 8.12, and that is a personnel update.
A personnel update?
Yes.
Okay, so you wanted to reopen the addition or modifications to the agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
So when we go in, I don't know if you have the wording to go into executive session, but just simply also add a personnel update.
Okay, personnel update, all right, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'll take that as a motion. I'll second it. Everyone in favor, please say aye.
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 Can I just ask a
Sure.
point of clarification? Is that separate from the complaints process that you're requesting that?
Yes.
Just like a general personnel update, like what's in the chief's report? Or,
It's a personnel update that is not on the chief's report.
okay.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed? None carries. Okay, that modification will be made as 8.2
Thank you.
to the proposed executive session. All right, is there anybody else here from the public to address the commission? Nope. All right, we will move on to the chief's report. Chief, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair Depper. Shab, can you please share page 1 of the chief's report? Thank you very much. So page one here, which starts consistent with how we reported last month, just top line incident numbers. This is work that's done in the field by all responders, so sworn officers, community service officers, community service liaisons. We're tracking just shy of 15,000 complaints at the close of last month, and on target to closely resemble last year's total incidents of just shy of 35,000. The next text explains where the department is in terms of staffing. So currently we have a total of 97 employees. 60 of those employees are sworn officers. The remaining 37 are professional staff. Of the 60 sworn personnel, 45 are officers, 15 are supervisors, resulting in an effective number of 47, taking leave and injuries into account. Of these 45 non-supervisory officers, 8 are assigned to detectives, 6 are assigned to the airport, 1 is assigned to recruitment. We have 1 officer on long-term military leave, 1 in field training, 3 recruits getting ready to head off to the Vermont Police Academy next week, 2 injured and 2 on administrative leave. What this leaves us with, unfortunately, currently is 21 active patrol officers in uniform services spread across our 6 shifts. So we typically have 4 officers on days plus a supervisor, 5 officers on evenings plus a supervisor, and 2 officers and a supervisor on the midnight shift, which is not congruent with our call volume. The department has recently launched a targeted recruitment campaign seeking lateral police officer applicants. This is with the support of the City Council adding sign-on bonus funds to our FY27 budget. So we're running this on our social media platforms, hopeful that we can attract, ideally, Vermont certified officers to join us. If not, out-of-state certified officers can qualify to come directly into our field training program with a training prescription from the Vermont Criminal Justice Council, which doesn't necessitate the attendance at the 17-week residential academy. So more to come, hopefully success stories on that front. Next page, please. Next 2 graphs, or tables, I should say, illustrate what employees of the organization are responsible for these various incident types. So as I've reported in the past, community service officer incidents are fairly static in terms of everything that they do: ordinance violation, found lost property, animal problem, noise, and minor crash investigation. That's by way of an MOA that we have with the Burlington Police Officers Association on what incident types they can be responsible for. Where we see some fluctuation is in their discretionary time, directed patrol and foot patrol. And the difference really this summer between last summer is we have fewer community service officers working for us. We have found that it's even difficult to attract folks into this spot, but they are an excellent force multiplier in our efforts downtown. The next table is the work of our community support liaisons. Unsurprising because of how work is assigned to them. Their top incident types are laid out here: assisting the public. They are also active in foot patrols downtown and trying to connect people that are in the community suffering from a variety of unmet social service needs. They conduct welfare checks. They do encampment outreach for us, service coordination amongst the population they serve. They assist other agencies, typically in finding these folks that they're coordinating service for, responsible for some mental health response, and they also are very effective in mitigating a lot of the threats and harassment complaints that come in to the police department that involve folks with underlying mental health concerns. Next, the next table is the work of our sworn officers. So here there are simply more categories to report out on a regular basis because the sample size, it's tough for Jeff to draw a line in what is, a top 5 versus a top 10. When you see these numbers across the table, they're very consistent. Again, very unsurprising here to see the top categories in patrol, suspicious events. I talk about this, I think, in every public data presentation. This really is a metric of people not feeling safe in their surrounding, and they're calling the police to report something that's out of sort. Foot patrol, we're using all of our discretionary time currently in the downtown core, City Hall Park, and the ambient 3 or 4 blocks, given the challenges that we've seen in that space this summer. Responding to trespass complaints, directed patrols are similar to foot patrols. They're motorized as opposed to foot. Traffic enforcement, we have Sergeant Mellis is namely responsible for these efforts here in trying to address some of those concerns in the community. We respond to alarms, disturbances, 911 hangups, welfare checks, mental health issues. Retail theft is on top of the list, overdose, drugs, arrest on warrant. Again, the typical bread and butter of the Burlington Police. Next page, please. This graphic is violent incidents 2023 to 2026. You see trending downward from seasonality here, which trends downward. The high watermarks here are typically the summer months. Nothing really new to see here. I will say that over the last 3 weeks, we've had a few more violent incidents in the downtown, so this graph will look different next month. We did respond to at least one gun violence incident in the downtown, as well as some assault robberies that occurred over this past weekend. So again, we've got our staff on these hotspots in a proactive way, but a lot of what is unfolding between folks is deeply troubling right now, and is a sharp focus of both the administration and the police department. This next graph illustrates stacked canceled incidents. So a function of prioritizing our response here is identifying calls that can wait when we don't have available resources. You'll see in earlier years when we had more staff, the department was stacking or not responding to far greater number of incidents than we are today. You will probably see this number creep up because we've been quite busy this summer, and some incidents just simply have to wait. Others, we do have the luxury of having some mutual aid support from UVM Police Services and other mutual aid partners, which we're grateful to have. Next page, please. Another graphic here related to City Hall Park and what we're seeing in terms of complaints from the public in the top graph. So excluded from this graph are things like foot patrol, outreach, and other proactive measures, or how we use our officers in a discretionary posture. And you'll see 2026, we were off to a bit of a slower start, but we know that was related to the weather. Now the call volume is quite high and continuing to climb, not only in City Hall Park, but in the vicinity. So this next graphic below is an illustration of about a 2-block radius around City Hall Park. We track this because we know when we're doing directed patrols or directed enforcement within the confines of City Hall Park, or enforcing elements of city ordinance which have trespass components prohibiting people from City Hall Park, that they typically go, a few feet away and set up in places like the northern side of College Street, directly across from the park, or on the upper block of St. Paul Street. So likewise here, we're seeing a similar trend upward, and I will predict that we'll probably either match or exceed the 2025 graphic by the time the summer is over. Thank you. This next graphic is an illustration of our monthly patrols, so how we're using our discretionary time, foot and directed patrols. We're off to a good start, but we have fewer people working for us this summer, so I hope that we can keep the level of patrols above the points the points that you see on this graph from 24 and 23, but I don't anticipate that we will have the available human resources to match or exceed what we were doing in 2025. The next graph is an illustration of the number of arrests the department is making. So in 2026, we see a typical trajectory upward here, like we have in the preceding graphs, and starting to taper off here This is really not for a lack of criminal activity that's occurring in the community, but rather insufficient human resources in order to address all the criminal activity that's going on in the community. And we'll watch this closely. Next page, please. Drug arrests, like the violent crime graph a couple of pages ago, there's a seasonality to this. In 2025, we certainly had a lot of drug activity that we were detecting and making apprehensions on. This summer, we don't have the same number of officers downtown. Our drug unit has been very active in some long-term investigations and bringing those to close. And I'm certain you've seen some recent media releases related to that. It's important work because we know if our drug unit, the actual investigators, focus on the drug trafficking organizations that are profiting from the drug trade, they're often involved in firearms trafficking and sex trafficking, and that is the best use of those resources. We hope at some point the organization will be able to build back enough sworn capacity to have a street crimes unit, even if it's based on overtime or collateral duty, to address some of the lower level drug trafficking that we particularly see in the downtown. Next graph is our tickets and warnings. So again, 23 to 26, you'll see that steady progress has been made in the summer months to enforce these quality of life issues, really what ordinances are geared for in the downtown district, and we're keeping pace with where we were last year. But I will say that the conduct that we've been seeing in the park and in similar areas has been has exceeded a bit of what we were experiencing last summer. Next page. Top ticket types, so top ordinance violations or instances that we're using our written warning system. The top count here is trespass issues. This is not surprising because of the number of folks whom are unhoused that are living in the downtown core. So oftentimes, if you are detected using drugs in the park, you're trespassed for the balance of the day or another period of time pursuant to city ordinance. So we've been leveraging that. But we also know that then we are displacing behavior to where folks are then trespassing on a business property or a church property, and we're using our enforcement of trespass issues in those spaces. The next graph here is top monthly tickets and warnings issued. The yellow line is for disorderly conduct. You'll see a bit of a seasonality here, but rather static line. The one that I do like to call out, open containers in the public. So these are open alcohol containers in public or in City Hall Park. That has a seasonality to it, but it's been a little outside this year, as well as regulated drug possession in City Hall Park. So congruent to what the public is reporting, we are detecting and enforcing these city ordinances in the downtown corridor. Next page. This illustration is a little bit different. I think we had one the same thing last month. Last year we did the top 20. Jeff Nicholson, our data analyst, suggested that we kind of pivot to this top 2% of people. So the top 2% of people amounts to 89 individuals who account for 19% of our incidents, so just slightly over 1,500 this year. We also look at this, it's de-identified here, we know who these individuals are, and we're comparing who these individuals are and if they are aligned with things like the accountability docket that State Attorney Sarah George has continued. It meets, that court meets every Friday, and they're having success in holding people to account in terms of being aligned with social services, trying to get at the underlying root cause, or our referrals to the situation table to make sure that no one's slipping through the cracks here, and that we're leveraging all of the accountability measures, if you will, in order to change their behavior and help them find greater success. What we do know about this population is that over half of this population is unhoused, and we'll see how they present in our data set here on the next page. So our top 2% of folks, they're most prevalent in our trespass complaints. suspicious events, and ordinance violations. Also notable here, arrest on warrant, mental health issues, disturbance, retail theft, welfare checks. So the top graph is the number of times the top 2% has been seen in these incident categories. The bottom graph is an illustration of what percentile they have showed up. So our top 2% has been involved in nearly 30% of our trespass, 20% of our suspicious events, a quarter of our arrest on warrants, a quarter of our mental health issues, disturbance, almost 25% of our retail theft. And these are, issues that are really disruptive and harmful to the community, but aren't crimes of violence. So folks are not held by the criminal legal system. And this is a source of, frustration that we continue to try to broker between those that are trying to either run a business downtown or enjoy downtown and can't quite understand why the conditions are so persistent in terms of this unhoused population consistently breaking the law, consistently seen as a population that's not being held accountable. That's, in sum and substance, the data report for this month. I do want to just highlight two things that are not in the report. Jeff Nicholson and I did meet with Dr. Perkins, and we're doing a little deeper dive on our 2025 use of force data. And I hope to partner with Dr. Perkins and REIB to understand, what is the data telling us, and then how can we communicate with marginalized communities within the city in order to maintain a level of trust in that we're using this authority, which is a tremendous authority, judiciously. So more to come on that. We're gonna have to do some qualitative work and understand these incidents, not necessarily one by one, but I'll have Jeff speak to this in a future data presentation. The sample size does get rather small when we start parsing down some of the questions, but more to come on that. And then lastly, I just want the commission to be aware that the state police will be resuming some downtown foot patrols, maybe as soon as tomorrow, and likely lasting between until August 16th. This is a direction that came from the governor's office, so I'm working closely with the leadership at the Vermont State Police to get that initiative integrated here with operations at the Burlington Police. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief. Does anybody have any questions for the Chief about the report? Sure, go ahead. Okay, you're going to have to go to the microphone, sir. And if you could identify yourself for the record, please. Okay. Can you hit the button there?
A suggestion and a question. The question is...
And sir, if you could identify yourself for the record.
John Hieronymus, local resident. The question, sir, is, please tell me and tell us what who is the regulator and who provides oversight for private security businesses such as Chocolate Thunder? Oversight meaning addressing complaints or in the hiring, background checks and so forth for a variety of reasons, criminal records, drug use, and how is that oversight ongoing? Would it be your office? Would it be Ms. George's office, the Attorney General? So who regulates, who in the state of Vermont, City of Burlington or the state of Vermont, oversees and regulates a private security business?
The Secretary of State's office.
So has the public been notified that any complaints or questions should be addressed or directed to them? And part two, does the Secretary of State play a regulatory or oversight role in the hiring of these people and checking out their backgrounds for, as I said, criminal records, drug use, psychiatric problems, et cetera, which would render them to be unfit for even even in a non-police officer or peace officer situation?
So the Secretary of State, they govern the profession, so the licensing of those security professionals. Who ultimately decides how they're employed is the company, and then who ultimately contracts with them is any given number of vendors, and the police department does not have a contract with Chocolate Thunder.
So the hiring is basically under the jurisdiction of the proprietor of that particular business?
That's my understanding.
Yeah, okay. And the question is, I would like to see data on, since you don't have precincts in Burlington, as you would in a big city, I would like to see crime data broken down by wards. Is that feasible?
So we have an open data portal with a lot of different filter options, and I can ask our data analyst how granular it gets in terms of wards as opposed to our patrol areas.
Yeah, because obviously the residents of a particular ward like to know what's trending in their own community, their own neighborhood. Thank you, Chief.
Of course.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
No problem. All right, any other questions for the chief? No? Thank you, chief. Hearing none, we'll move on to commission business.
I have just a comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Chief, this is more of a comment, not a question. Today being my first day, I just wanted to thank you for your service in the department and all the work that you do, so thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Herman. If there's nothing else, thank you very much, Chief, for your time. We'll move on to commission business. First, committee reports from all committees. Commissioner Genorio, Complaints Committee.
I don't have an update on the Complaints Committee, but hopefully we'll get through a lot of that in our executive session this evening.
Okay, thank you very much. And Commissioner Finner in the Animal Control Committee.
Yes, we have a hearing scheduled tomorrow for 6 p.m. in the Sharon Busher Conference Room. This is a part 2 of our hearing on the dog Raven, and this hearing will be with Raven's owner, who was unable to attend our last hearing, and then we will have a second hearing on Monday the 3rd, location TBD, which will address the dog Moose, who we have had several hearings over before.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't believe we have any other committees currently in effect, any other commentary on either of those updates? No. Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner Herman.
Thank you. I just wanted to just kind of make a comment, today being my first day. I just want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to all of you, and I'm glad to be serving alongside you. It's my honor to join you here. And my approach, of course, is this responsibility is with open mind. And my commitment, of course, is to fairness, transparency, accountability, and respect for both our community and the dedicated men and women of our police department. And of course, I look forward to listening, learning, and asking thoughtful questions and working collaboratively with you all here, strengthening public trust while supporting policies that promote public safety, professionalism, constitutional policing, and I'm excited to contribute in a meaningful way and serve alongside with you with the integrity and diligence that you guys have been doing for a while. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Herman, and welcome. All right, we'll move on to 5.2, the Police Department Directive Review. This would be Directive 26.01, I believe. Yes. Access to use of sealed and criminal history records. Does anybody have comments on this directive? Go ahead, Commissioner Genorio.
I'm sorry, yes, I had one question, but then I closed the directive. It was just a question about the sort of stock statement when people request for their own record to be released to them, and it had the same stock statement saying that it is punishable for them to share that with anyone. I guess it just seems a little counterintuitive that information you know about yourself would be a crime to share with a family member or someone else. Can you maybe explain that to me a little bit more, Chief Burke?
Yeah, so oftentimes these policies that come out of legislation, they're emblematic of kind of how messy it gets during the legislative process. And all I can offer is that this is a mandatory policy that we adopt and have in place. And the intent behind that provision of this policy and actually the section of law is a little lost on me. I work on a lot of different bills. I did not work on this bill whatsoever.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments with regard to Directive 2601? Okay, hearing none, I will go ahead and move that we adopt that one. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, none? Carries? Excellent. Thank you very much. Directive 2601 is accepted by the commission. Thank you, Chief. Now, moving on to 5.3, resolution finalization. Just to kind of recap, this would have been back in, let's see, we didn't meet in June. Let's see here. And I, for the life of me, can't remember from the month before June. Right now, May. We adopted this in May. The commission had asked for some modifications to this. I'll go ahead and read it. Whereas the Burlington Board of Police Commissioners holds authority under Burlington City Charter, Section 183 and 184, to audit and review Burlington Police Department actions for conformity with current department policy. Whereas that authority was affirmed and operationalized by City Council Resolution 7.09 in 2021, which contains no exceptions for categories of records, types of police action, or circumstances under which the Commission's audit access may be withheld. Whereas the Commission exercised that authority by requesting body-worn camera footage of the March 11, 2026 ICE detention and protest, and that footage was withheld from the date of the Commission's request until April 20th, 2026, on a legal basis with which the Burlington Police Commission disagrees. Whereas the Commission's audit and review authority is meaningful only if it is recognized and honored by the Burlington Police Department and the City of Burlington. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Burlington Board of Police Commissioners affirms that its audit and review authority under Charter Sections 183 and 184 and Resolution 7.09 is a freestanding oversight power that admits no categorical exceptions, and that the withholding of department records from the Commission requires a specific written legal justification, and be it further resolved that the Commission requests a meeting with the Mayor and the President of the City Council to collaborate on how the Commission's audit authority will be recognized and audited moving forward. The last vote on that were 5 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 2 members absent. I believe that was Commissioner Paul and Commissioner Comerford, who accepted the resolution under the understanding that that language would be added. Commissioner Finneran, do you have any comment on that?
No comment, only note. Sorry, just noting that the resolution in the agenda is the original language and not the language with the amendments.
Okay. I believe the amendments have been passed around, though. Have you all?
But I'm just confirming, we are
Sure.
moving forward with the amendments.
Yeah, with
Okay,
the amendments.
yes.
Yeah. Any other commentary on that? No? Okay. I'd move that we then accept the amended policy. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? None? It carries? Excellent. Then that resolution will be finalized. I'll go ahead and send it. I'll go ahead and sign it, and then we'll just move forward. Thank you. The final piece of our agenda tonight is chair nominations and voting. I should have added, just per our bylaws now, at the same time we vote for chair, we vote for essentially the structure, whether or not it's going to be a co-chair structure or a vice chair structure. I am stepping down as chair. It has been an honor. I appreciate y'all's time and energy in that, and I am ready to step down for a bit. So, who wants to, I'll accept chair nomination. Well, I guess we should probably, who wants to move for structure? Does anyone have a perspective on that?
Can I propose that we do nominations first, and then the Or is
Sure,
that not what, I think perhaps my thought was the people that we vote upon will decide what structure works for them, but I don't know if that is how the commission understands it, and
Yeah, well,
that's separate.
I guess in the bylaws, I should probably pull them up here, but in the bylaws, because it's an either or, my thought is that if we're voting on co-chairs, then that could be potentially a different calculus for people that might be nominated than if we're voting on a chair and vice chair structure. So that was my only thought in that regard. Okay. So I will just do this. All those in favor of a chair, vice chair structure, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's 2.
Is this a vote nay or abstain?
Well, you
Or
can
maybe-
vote nay if you would like to. I was just going to then offer the co-chair structure and see who voted aye on that, and I figured that would, the math
Well,
would
maybe I'll
suss
just
out.
make a comment that I don't have a preference as to which way we go. I think I would leave it up to the people that, whoever wants to be those positions, so maybe I'll just abstain both.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll go through the motions then. Now, for the co-chair structure, who is in favor of the co-chair structure, please indicate aye. I believe that's Commissioner Paul and Commissioner Herman. It would be up to y'all.
Admittedly speaking, I am indifferent to the co-chair part of it. Is whatever the team sees fit works for
Okay.
everybody.
Well, I do need a vote, yes, no, abstain.
No, for me, the co-chair.
Okay. Commissioner Paul?
I'm abstaining from both.
Okay. All right, well, we don't have a majority on chair, vice chair. So I guess that's just kind of how it will go. We will accept nominations. I guess if we, of the 5 of us, I guess if we get 2 chair nominations, they can, I suppose as the British say, muddle through. But yeah, so we'll just accept nominations for chair at this time. Yes, Commissioner Herman.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Paul.
Okay, excellent. Any other nominations for a chair?
I'm not willing to accept that.
Okay,
I nominate Michaela Finneran.
okay. Any other nominations? No? Okay, I will second that nomination. All those in favor of Commissioner Finneran being a chair, please say aye.
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 Aye. No opposition, so you are chair, or at least a chair. Are there any nominations for a chair or a vice chair?
It's up to you.
Okay.
It's completely up to you.
I'm fine proceeding. I feel comfortable proceeding as is with no co-chair or vice chair. If
Okay.
someone feels strongly and they would like to serve as co-chair or vice chair, I'm happy to hear it.
Okay, excellent, thank you. All right, well, Commissioner Finneran, you are now chair. I leave it to you how you would like to proceed with the rest of the agenda. Would you like to preside over the rest of the agenda, or would you like me to finish out the day?
You can finish out the day.
Okay, no problem. All right, thank you. Well, that closes our primary business, and that moves us on to commendations. We have one commendation, and it says, Dear Chief Burke, I would like to recognize and commend the exemplary performance of, let me make this bigger, my eyes aren't what they used to be, performance of Burlington Police Department Detective and DEA Task Force Officer Derwin Ellerman. Your detective has become the cornerstone of our DEA task force in Vermont. During the past 12 months, Task Force Officer Ellerman's outstanding work has led to the dismantlement of multiple drug trafficking organizations in Vermont, with clearly established investigative connections to Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Texas. Due to his hard work and dedication, TFO Ellerman has been able to arrest several wholesale distributors and their cohorts, seize kilogram quantities of cocaine and fentanyl, and tens of thousands of dollars in drug proceeds, and take firearms out of the hands of dangerous criminals. TFO Ellerman has spent countless hours on these investigations, leading physical surveillance operations, leveraging intelligence products, interviewing suspects and cooperators, reviewing device downloads, and drafting the necessary legal paperwork and reports to support these investigations. Of course, these investigations would not have been successful without the support of our federal prosecutors, and TFO Ellerman has built a strong partnership with the United States Attorney's Office in Vermont. He has done so through his work ethic, emotional intelligence, investigative knowledge, and overall quality of his work products. This ability to connect with others and work together to achieve a common goal is the most important part of being a team player. TFO Ellerman exemplifies these abilities. TFO Ellerman is constantly leveraging investigative information of all types to generate additional leads for DEA and his law enforcement counterparts in general. He is a leader among his peers at DEA, and he is the definition of a dedicated investigator. We are thankful to have TFO Ellerman as part of our DEA task force, and I would like to formally recognize and commend him for his outstanding performance over the past 12 months. Sincerely, Jared A. Forget, Special Agent in Charge, New England Field Division, with a handwritten note that says, Detective Ellerman, excellent work.
We also received another one via email. Do you want me to read that one?
Yes, please
You don't
do.
have it open? It was from Friday, June 3rd. It says, Dear Chief Burke, at 7 a.m. today, we had a security breach at Phoenix Books, Burlington. Your staff responded quickly and thoroughly and followed up with a phone call to appraise me of the situation. I later spoke with dispatch to better understand what took place. I was grateful and relieved. On behalf of my partner, Michael DeSanto, our store manager, Todd Gross, and the entire Phoenix team, I would like to extend our thanks. Renee Rainier.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Commissioner Genorio. Okay, then I would, let's see, the next meeting date is going to be August 25th, 2026. I will move that we go into executive session and make a finding. This is for the complaint committee, complaint evaluation, as well as a personnel issue. And I would move that we make a finding that we hold this executive session based on the fact that premature general public knowledge would clearly place the public body or a person involved in either the complaints or the personnel issue at substantial disadvantage due to contracts, labor relations agreements with employees, grievances other than tax grievances, and the probable civil litigation or prosecution, which always may be implicated in complaints. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, it carries. We will move into executive session. Thank you. I'll move to adjourn. Second. All those in
Second.
favor, please say aye.
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 The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you.